Hello and welcome back. In this session, we will see how to work with the basic controls in Appium. Okay, the basic controls which we have already seen are button. In calculator example, we have already seen how to work with button and how to get the value from a text view. We have already covered. And text view also we have already covered. So in order to work with the other basic controls such as edit text, checkbox, radio button and drop down, we are going to make use of API demos which we have installed in the last session. So this is the Java file which we have created in the last session. What I will do is I will copy this and paste it into simple controls. Okay, so we will continue from where we left. So let us look at edit text first. For edit text, first we will click on OS, and after that we will click on SMS Messaging. So in this particular view, we have the edit box or edit text as well as checkbox. So we will do both here. Okay, first we will check the edit box. Okay, since I have closed UI Automator Viewer, so let me open up. So we have UI Automator Viewer open now. So let me take the snapshot of this screen here. Okay, so we have taken the snapshot here. Now we need to add the recipient number here. So we will add some number here and we will add message as hello. Okay, so let us see how to do it. For this I'm going to use the resource ID since this is unique. So you can use other strategies or other locator strategies which I have explained in the earlier session. For this I'm going to use the resource ID. So here ad dot find element by dot id Okay, let me import this dot send keys is the method which we can use. So here I'm going to put the number here. The same way, let me take the resource ID for message body. Again I'm going to make use of ID dot send keys and here I'm going to print. Okay, so at the same time I'm going to work with checkbox as well. So let me take the click on the checkbox, and here also let me take the resource ID. Okay, id dot find element by id dot, in this case we have to click on it so that it gets enabled. In order to go to this particular screen, we need to click on OS first and SMS messaging. Okay, so let me take the screenshot for this. Okay, before we edit the text, we need to click on OS, that is ad dot find element. So let me take again resource ID here, and let me select preference. Okay, so if you look at the resource ID is not unique here, because if I click on OS, the resource ID is text1. If I click on preference, the resource ID is again text1. Okay, so I cannot take this. Instead, what I will do is I will take the XPath. Okay, so by dot XPath, and this XPath will be // the class name here, which is TextView, and the text is OS here. Okay, so that text is equal to OS. And then click. Okay, the same way I need to click on SMS messaging. For that, I will take again the screenshot of this. The screenshot of this screen. Okay, so click on SMS messaging, and this is again a text view. So here again I will take the XPath, and the text will be SMS messaging. Okay, so now we are clicking on OS and SMS messaging before we perform any edit text and clicking on checkbox. Okay, so let me save this and run this. Run as Java application. Okay, now it has opened up API demos. It has clicked on OS and we got some error here. Okay, element could not be located, so our XPath may be having some issue. If you look at this, what happened is, so it has clicked on OS and immediately it started looking for SMS messaging. So even though our XPath is correct, okay, after verification, it looks like we need to add some sleep here. Okay, so let me add 2 seconds of sleep so that it moves to the next screen and it will try to find SMS messaging in the next screen. Otherwise, before it moves to the next screen, it will try to find out this SMS messaging. Okay, so let me add throws again here. Okay, so let me rerun. So it has clicked on the first one, it has clicked on the next, it is added, and it has clicked on the checkbox. Okay, so we encountered one issue here wherein we had to add a sleep here. So this is the standard synchronization problem which we will take a look at in the later session. So we have a separate session for the synchronization part. Okay, for now we will make use of thread.sleep wherever it is needed. However, thread.sleep is not the recommended way to synchronize any application. Okay, for now we have seen how to edit a particular text and how to click on checkbox. Since we have clicked on a checkbox, if you look at the other methods which are available, and there are further checks you can add for a particular checkbox or radio button or edit text by adding whether it is displayed or not, whether that is enabled or not, and is that selected. So if it is already selected, then we don't need to select. So these are some of the additional checks which we can add before clicking or checking or unchecking the checkbox. Similar to checkbox, these functions will be available for most of the controls, and wherever it is needed you can make use of these methods in order to have a greater control over the action which you are performing. So we are done with edit box and checkbox. So let me take a look at radio button and drop down. Okay, for radio button and drop down, we will make use of views first and then click on controls, and we will click on light theme. Here we have a radio button as well as there is a drop down here. Okay, so what we will do is we will select Jupyter from here. Okay, and then we will select one of these radio buttons, for example radio button 2. Let me take a screenshot of this first. So in this case what I will do is I will comment this out because we are already done with the checkbox. Since that is in the different menu, I'm commenting it out. Okay, let me copy the first two lines. Before going and clicking on the radio button, we need to go to, first we will click on views. First we will click on views, and after clicking on views we will click on controls. Of course we will make use of thread.sleep here, and then again after clicking on the controls we need to click on light theme. Okay, and this is one dot light theme. Okay, so once that is clicked, then let us wait here also, because it's going to move to the next screen, and in that screen we have a radio button. So let us click on radio button 1, and let's take the ID here. Okay, ID now. AD dot find element by dot ID, and we will provide the ID for radio button dot click. The second thing is we need to click on Jupyter, since this is a drop down. After radio button we will work on drop down. So here we need to click on spinner. Okay, again we will use my ID dot click first, and once we click, then we get another pop-up window. Okay, let me take the screenshot of this. Okay, so in this I'll have to click on Jupyter. Okay, so for this I'm going to make use of XPath. AD dot find element by dot XPath, and this is the class, and the text is Jupyter. At text is equal to Jupyter. Dot click. Okay, so that will click on this, and that gets selected here. Okay, so let us run this and see. I click on as Java application. Okay, so there was some error in clicking on this, and an element could not be located using the given search parameters. Okay, so there is probably space here, one dot space, and light theme. Okay, so let me save this and rerun. Okay, it has clicked on radio button. However, it was not able to find the drop down. Okay, an element could not be located on the page using the search parameter because we had this keypad open. This is the soft keypad which is open, so we need to close that before we click on the drop down or the spinner. Okay, for that we will do close the keypad, which is soft keypad, ad.hide keyboard. So this method will hide the keyboard before it clicks on the spinner element. Okay, so let us right click, save, and run. Okay, as we can see, the keyboard was the problem here. Once we hide the keyboard, then it was able to select from the drop down. Okay, it has selected Jupyter here, and it has also selected radio button. This is how we can work with some of the basic controls. In this session we have seen how to work with the edit box, checkbox, radio button, and drop down. We will see some more controls in the next session. Thanks for watching.